It is always a delight to have in studio, fresh off the boat from Norway, just for 10 years or so, Mr. Lars Knobloch, Nordic Home Inspection, Nordic Companies, and all things Scandinavian. Is that right?
That is correct.
Do you have any stock in Stabo? I want to know that.
No, I don't. I maybe should.
Yeah, you really should.
I really should.
You really should.
Of that.
Lars, you're a home inspector. You are a radon expert. You are a mold specialist. What am I missing?
Commercial.
Oh.
Do a lot of commercial stuff.
Okay.
Generally, we try to be helping people, educating people in our industry, in our community. I mean, about homeownership and anything house related, building related.
Mm-hmm. Lars, I remember the very first inspection you ever did for me. I don't know if you remember it. It was for clients of mine, Nate and Melissa Callens.
I remember that.
And we were up in North Fargo, and I had been working with a previous home inspector, and they're like, yeah, we hired this Lars guy. I'm like, who is this Lars guy? And you showed up, and you were so unbelievably thorough. And I'm like, why are you looking at all this stuff? And it turns out that's what you always do, Lars. You are so unbelievably thorough. Why?
We want to help people. We want to help people not only make an educated decision to, figure out for them if this is the right house for them, but we want to help them learn about the house, anything for maintenance and repairs and how to live in the house, what to do and what not to do, and let people be aware of everything so they can keep an eye on things and create their own good luck. There's a lot of things that can go wrong when you own a house if you don't stay on top of things.
And you were completely on top of things from that first inspection to now. I mean, Lars, how many inspections do you do a year traditionally?
Me personally, I think last year I probably were at like 750, and then the company were about 1,100.
Okay, and so 700 inspections a year, and you've been doing that for 10 years?
Yeah, I'm crazy.
So can I roughly say that you've done over 6,000 or 7,000 inspections in the last 10 years?
Yep, that's about right.
We're going to talk about winterization because it's cold all of a sudden. It's basically winter. But before we get there, I love your stories, Lars. You have some fascinating stories, and you see some weird things in houses. What's one of your favorite stories?
Oh, there's so many favorite stories I have. I came to a house once where the egress window well was filled with water to the rim. Mm-hmm. It was 20 below, but the water wasn't frozen.
It wasn't frozen.
It wasn't frozen, and it was filled to the rim. It was really, really weird. And I walk inside, water is pouring in through this window. And it was a vacant house.
Yep.
It turned out that the water or the electricity was turned on to the house the night before, and then the sump pump started running. When it hasn't been running for a long time, so the water below the frost line now started getting pumped out or it starts pouring into the sump pump. Mm-hmm. And the sump pump is pumping it out into the window well, and it was flooding the basement. It was a huge mess. Huge mess.
And you sometimes are the bearer of bad news, and other times you're the savior of lives. I remember you telling a story and showing some pictures at a homebuyer class of an entire window well filled with frogs.
Yes.
Like hundreds of frogs.
There was hundreds of frogs.
And you didn't go in and rescue them one frog by one. Instead, you wisely put down, I think it was a 2x4 or something so that they could climb out, right?
We took the downspout extensions off the downspout, put them into the window well, and there was a line of frogs there at the end waiting to jump out.
The MacGyver of home inspections.
Absolutely.
I love it, Lars. Let's talk winterization, though, because we could talk weird things that you see in the house all the time. But right now, seasons are changing, and people need to know how to prepare for winter. What should we be doing?
Yeah, so right now, at this exact time, mice are running around your house trying to find a way to get in.
Let's pause there for a moment. It was 3 years ago. We had some construction happening around our area, and mice found their way into my wife's car.
That's great.
She was so freaked out that I had to sell that car the next week.
No way.
Yeah. So mice are a big deal. Yeah. Sorry, Emily, I didn't mean to call you out in front of all these listeners, but and to the new owner of that Armada, I hope you got rid of the mice too. Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, I had a couple of weird things happening in my house too. My wife found a dead mouse in our garage. And a couple of days later, I happened to have an owl getting stuck in my grill on my truck.
You had an owl in the grill on your truck?
So for a few days there, I had a dead mouse and a dead owl in my trash. When did that happen to you last?
Not this year, that's for sure.
Awful. Anyway, so what you could do right now in terms of mice is to take a walk around your house, look for any openings where they could get in. Commonly, behind your AC compressor, there's a pipe going from your AC compressor into your house, and that needs to be sealed up really well. If it isn't, that's a common place for mice to get in.
How would you seal that? Just some caulking?
Caulking, putty, yeah.
Bubble gum.
Bubble gum would be, yeah. That's a great idea.
I hope you understand the sarcasm right now. Yeah.
Other than that, mistakes people do right now that I've seen several times already this week is frozen garden hoses.
Yeah.
What we see is the simple stuff that people forget. So there's a couple of reminders I'm going to give you. Disconnect your garden hose. Turn your water off to your spigot. This is not the time to discharge your sump pump underground anymore. Or above grade for that sake. If you have a diverter valve where you can discharge your sump pump into your sewer, this is the time to switch that. If you don't have that valve, it's time for you to disconnect your exterior 1.5-inch flexible PVC flexible pipe on your outside. And then people are always worried about doing that because what if your sump pump starts running? Then it will just dump water right at your foundation wall.
Right.
What we recommend is to have maybe a 10-foot 4-inch PVC pipe that you just put over that pipe that comes out through the wall, just so you can bring that water still far away, but it won't freeze.
But you're saying to go from the 1.5-inch to the 4-inch.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen every day this week frozen garden hoses, frozen sump pump pipes already.
Wow. And that came on quick, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just simple things that people forget. And clean gutters too now. It's pretty soon it's going to be too late. We see clogged, packed full gutters full of leaves and frozen water in the gutters, which could complicate things over the winter as well.
Most of the leaves have fallen. I was actually driving on some of the center streets, the 6th through 10th Street in Fargo. There's still leaves on the trees, but for those who live in maybe windier areas who are a little more open, most of the leaves have fallen, and so now's the perfect time to clean your gutters, isn't it?
It really is, yes.
Okay. We're in for a rough winter, aren't we, Lars? From what all predictions show?
Yeah, it sounds like it, and we'll see, but I guess every winter here is rough.
That's true. What preventative measures besides cleaning gutters and taking care of your sump pumps and making sure that we're disconnecting those hoses should we be doing right now?
You want to make sure to service your furnace. You want to do that every year. At this time, do it before the winter. Don't wait for it to shut down. You want to go over all your windows. Make sure your windows are tightly latched. That will prevent air leakage. You want to make sure to... You want to make sure to replace all batteries on your smoke detectors. If you have gas appliances, make sure you have carbon monoxide detectors.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times you see furnaces will shut down after blizzards and heavy snowfall, or they could start backdrafting toxic fumes or gases back into your house. Start up your ventilation system. If you live in a newer house, now it's the time to do that.
Yeah.
Bring up your blinds during the day. Bring up your blinds during the day so you won't have excessive condensation causing mold to form on your windows.
Let's stop right there. That is so huge because we want to keep our blinds down because we want to keep the cold out. But we gotta let those puppies breathe, don't we?
Yeah.
You gotta let those windows not sweat so much during the day.
You can shut them at night, but you want to bring them up so you get some air circulation on your windows.
Man, I need to go do that right now. I'm seeing the toll it's taking on my windows, and that's a mistake that I've been making.
And the condensation fight is something that most people are struggling with, and the general rule for that, people are thinking it's related to the windows. My windows are bad; it got so much condensation. Basically, the colder it is outside, the lower the humidity. So the humidity and the outside temperature should almost go hand in hand, up and down. So to prevent the condensation.
Lars, great tips. I want people to go to NordicHomeInspection.com to get in touch with Lars. Even if you're not buying or selling, man, it's important to have an inspection done on your property. I trust all my inspections with you, and I just think you are just fantastic at what you do.
Thank you.
You bet. Folks, NordicHomeInspection.com or swing over to Hatch Realty. We'd love to see you at HatchRealty.com. In the meantime, we're going to break. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch.